Hey guys, TwoFace here, and welcome back to the Community Showcase, the show where we take popular map makers from the game Zapekist and ask them to show us their favorite of their own tracks. On today's show, we have Maou. Now, Maou and I have known each other for a bit now. They are very involved in the event community within Zapekist and do their best to help with anything event related. Maou is also pretty particularly known, as you can see, for having very, very interesting lines. In fact, you'll often see people in lobbies when a Maou track comes on, especially a new one. You'll see people in chat say, "Gotta find the Maou line," or "Wow, look at those Mausicians." There's several little catchphrases that people have for Maou. So yeah, without further ado, here's Maou. Hey there, Maou. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Yeah, nice to have you here. I've been, we've been kicking it a bit for a while now. Just chilling, killing, doing things together, chilling in stream, goofing around, mucking around, vibing, all the things, like we always do. I am not great at this one, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is definitely a track where I'll sit here and grind away and try to get a really good line on, and sometimes DNF just trying to get a good line. Ugh.
Yeah, that's kind of what the track was built for, which you can see the title, Cup of the Day.
Right. So this was your track for Cup of the Day. Was it the second or third Cup of the Day? I can't remember what number it was.
The fourth.
Four. I don't have eyes. Just kidding. Look at me not reading and focusing on my lines that I am still doing poorly on.
Yeah, this was made for the fourth Cup of the Day. Still pretty early on, so we were kind of figuring out the vibe and what we wanted for things. And this track was my submission, which got tested by two people. One of which is Maki, who is in the community, who's a really cool builder and racer. In fact, one of the best racers. And a close friend of mine who hasn't really chatted in the community too much and showed up like a few times, but they're pretty new at Zapekist.
Oh man, am I actually gonna get a decent line here? Let's go. Oh man, nice 42. Jeez. 42 right off the gate, man. Yeah, no, you've been pretty involved in the Zapekist community as far as like putting on events goes lately, I feel, and I feel like there's quite a few things you could potentially talk about. Like you're putting on MMM, right?
Yeah. So we've got the MMM, which is Monthly Mapping Madness. It was an event started by me and Yeonje, but currently is hosted only by me due to Anjay being unable to host things properly. So the MMM is currently hosted over on my Discord, where it's basically an event that I create a layout of a start, a finish, maybe multiple finishes, who knows, and some checkpoints. And the people who participate basically write a track from that layout. They're not allowed to touch the blocks inside except for like texturing them. So no moving them, no resizing them, no rotating them or anything like that.
Interesting. It's definitely something that I've seen a few times and have planned to participate in, but I feel like my life has gotten a lot more busy than it used to be in recent days. So it's been a little bit harder for me to participate in events I want to participate in like that. But yeah, definitely really fun. If you guys want to check it out, do you want me to link the Discord down in your? I'll link your Twitch for sure. But do you want me to link the Discord as well?
Yeah.
Also,
you can link the Discord as well.
Since we just talked about it, yeah, Maou is on Twitch as well, and I do hang out over there often. I enjoy his streams.
Yes, I do streams where I fail at racing and fail at building.
I feel like when I watch your streams and your building, it's typically targeted building. Is what I would say. You're typically like, oh yeah, person X, you don't want me to make a track like this? Well, I'm gonna make a track like this.
Yeah, it's a fun time. I enjoy creating things and then seeing people realize and tear that my build style is a little bit different. I do things a bit jankier than most, to say the least.
You know what? I think there's like a necessity for some jank. I feel like a lot of people will complain about jank a lot of the time, but if you don't know how to ride like janky maps, it's kind of a skill that's, I feel like, is semi-important to have. People will come into like lobbies and be like, hey, I've only been playing the game for like a few hours or a few days or whatever. Will you test my track? And I feel like it's important to be able to tell them like how they could improve their map if they're not trying to make it janky, but at the same time being able to ride over something janky if you are trying to have something janky in your map is a great way to add like skill to a track as well.
Yeah, so that track we just played is like, I think, one of my more normal tracks compared to what I normally make. A lot simpler comparative to other things.
I feel like this is just a really good flow track, honestly.
Yeah, here we have Realm Intrinsic Fear. This is a track that's part of a track series called Realm, where the gimmick is I make simple tracks that are interconnected in a way through the start and finish having like a portal block kind of thing. And it seems like just different worlds. But each track has a unique style identity to them. And it's helped me figure out new techniques on building. Like, for, say, a backwards track, I never would have been able to do that without figuring out how to do backwards Omni boosters, which is something I picked up from Lighter, actually. One of his tracks has a booster that forces you backwards through weird internal mechanics, which is really cool. I have a mud
also been
track,
employing that lately. The backwards boosters.
No. Backwards boosters are a fun thing to play with. They can be a bit difficult to get working, though.
For sure. I usually use them more as a filter and less as an actual booster, to where it's like, if you go through it backwards, you're not really gaining anything. But if you go through it forwards, then you lose something. You know what I mean? So it's just like a gate.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
More than anything.
Yeah, those are always fun. I've done a mud track. I've done a ice track. I've done a transitional jumps track where you kind of have to figure out where's the best time to jump, where's the best time to sit around. But all of the tracks are beginner friendly. I think it is my most beginner friendly series of tracks.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you have High Hell, which definitely isn't beginner friendly.
Oh, my High Hells, which is another series of tracks. Wow, I have a lot of series of tracks, I just realized.
Yeah, there's a few.
High Hell is my... I have 3 High Hells. 4 technically, but one of them is a collab. But they are tracks that are particularly made to be difficult, and only the highest levels of players can beat them. And even then, most of them have less than 10 finishers. Like, total. Like, and people who have finished the track out of hundreds now.
Right.
But yeah. I can talk about the build style of this one, which is really simple and is kind of very, very similar to what I normally do. Is I'll place down a couple of blocks, run through it a couple times, and just think about what transition would I like next.
Yeah, I definitely also build that way.
Yeah.
Just kind of like ride what you have and just put something down that you think looks like it'll work / be interesting, and then just take it and see how it feels. And if you don't like it, trash it. Sometimes I don't realize I don't like a part too until I'm later down the line after I've already built that part, and then I'm like, I don't like this and it needs to go, and then I just get rid of it and I don't feel bad about it, you know? Like,
yeah, definitely. Sometimes I'll try to make stuff work, but most times I'll just kind of, if I'm not liking it, change it. I think a lot of times it's trial and error. So for me, I don't use the save state mod or the trails mod, though I did reinstall the trails mod recently to create a track. But normally when I'm building, I don't have, the only extra mods I have are object properties, so that, and blueprints, and that's it.
I use Trails mod a lot. I like to do jumps where like you need to use a specific amount of arms up. It's not full arms up and it's not no arms up. It's like somewhere in the middle, and you need to figure out your sweet spot for the speed you're going. Because I feel like that can create like a rewarding jump for doing it right.
That is definitely like a good way to do it. I don't recommend not having those mods. In fact, save state and trails are super great to have. Quick shout out to the people who have developed mods for this game.
Oh, for real.
Two that come to mind immediately are Metal Ted and Thunder Nerd. And if you have any more names to bring up yourself, but like those.
I mean, Warcans has been developing a few things as of late that have been really cool. I have something that I'm going to use this coming week for my tracks to build that I'm excited to use.
Yeah, no, that super amazing community, and the modding community, like, in particular, this game probably would be a lot slower in developing, and tracks would be a lot harder to make without them.
I definitely agree with that. Like, specifically with like object properties, right? Like it's such a game changer in terms of what you can do with a track. Like literally, if you're a map maker and you want to make interesting tracks, literally the only tool that you need is object properties mod. Like nothing else is like as mandatory. Yeah. Because it just allows you to resize and kind of semi-reshape some of the shapes that you have at your like disposal, and it can make quite a difference.
Which I think this is a good track to talk about as well for object properties.
Yeah, no, definitely. Everything is like scaled all wonky here, and it's great.
So this is a track called Chaotic Blocks. It is the first track I created on stream. So this is the first track that people saw me in particular create. And it was pretty fun because I had decided, screw it, I'm going to mess around with being off-grid, scaling things, making things a bit wonky. And this is really where, if you're in the community and you join a lobby and you see a track by me, you might hear about Mauzicians or Maou Tech.
The Maou line.
Or the Maou line, which is basically very unintuitive tricks and tips that you need to know about, like landing and continuing a flow. But once you get it, like, it feels really good and it looks really nice.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you'll use like a very particular part of a piece to make a track more interesting. Man, I am just failing at the same spot every time right now. Very consistently.
Yeah, this track is difficult. And without the object properties mod, I definitely wouldn't have been able to create this track. There's some turns that just work because they're scaled down in a weird way.
Right.
Particularly right before the loop, the piece that is scaled down probably wouldn't let you turn as well through it, and then the loop itself is scaled, and then the piece right after that is a half pipe that's so scaled weirdly. So
speaking of scaling, I don't think you'd be able to have this cute little crab here in the beginning if you didn't have the object properties mod either.
So that is Kreb, basically my mascot, along with another one who's not in this track and who isn't on these tracks in particular, which is an axolotl called Lottle. Lottle, we love Lottle. Just one day randomly I was chilling and just decided to make a so this is the backstory because I don't think many people know, or anyone at all, but Kreb comes from a track I created with, it's basically an island, and I had thought, well, this seems boring, and created a little crab guy. And after making the crab guy, I've just kind of been using Kreb like everywhere. I've stopped putting him on tracks mostly now. Now he's been taken up by my other little mascot, Lottle, who is an axolotl. The idea came from someone. I was like, man, what animal should I build? And they just said axolotl. And I went, I got you.
Axolotls are pretty cute. Like, there's a reason they're in Minecraft.
Very. And those...
I just DNF'd your track, my guy.
Oh no. We were talking about this, and I was like, oh man, I hope you don't DNF.
Oh no. You know what's funny is I died right in front of the finish twice, so it's almost like I didn't DNF. Like, I still got to the finish.
Yeah.
Dang.
So that is a property of my tracks too. Sometimes you just can't finish them because some stupid annoying bounce or something. I
mean, hey, it teaches you how to roll with things sometimes, but yeah, that's all we got time for today. Thanks for joining me, Maou.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
this is great.
Like I said, I'll have a link to Mao's Twitch and Mao's Discord in the description, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said in the video, links to Mao's Discord and Mao's Twitch will be in the description below. If you guys have any recommendations for future map makers to have on this series, or have any recommendations for questions to ask, please let me know in the comments section. I do read all the comments. But that's all the time I got for you today, guys. I'll catch you later.